Welcome to Paralegal or Bust, where we discuss my journey into becoming a paralegal. I'm your host, Cassidy Bass, and today we will be discussing myself. I just want to go ahead and pretty much introduce myself and give you some insight on myself since we are discussing my journey into becoming a paralegal. So I'll start off by saying I am a mother of 4. I have 2 girls and 2 boys. I work 40 hours a week as the paralegal lab assistant for Del Mar. I love what I do. Not only can I sit in on classes and I feel like get so much information and so much knowledge, I'm also able to help students on the daily. The reason behind this podcast is to actually inform students and just let others know about the paralegal program that Del Mar has to offer. At the moment, my current classes are legal research and writing. And then I also am taking administrative law. So I am taking so I'm about in my 2nd semester. I'll be somewhat finishing that up and going into my 3rd semester. It's a little bit more difficult than I wish it was. And it's just simply because of having kids and also having to work. I find myself going at a slower pace than some. Also, I will be graduating, hopefully, I'm saying like the year 2025. I wish it was sooner. So I'm going to go ahead and take some questions from the questions I've prepared to ask other students that I will be interviewing. So one of them was, where are you at in the program? And like I said, I'm sort of like in the 2nd semester. There's 4 semesters for the paralegal program, which you then graduate with your associates in science. What made me interested in becoming a paralegal would have to be the fact of helping others. When you go through your own legal matters and you really don't have any knowledge behind not just the verbiage, but just what your rights are in general, I think it helps so much just to know things and learn things and have that amount of knowledge. So once I went through my 2nd divorce, I had helped a friend after they had went through their divorce, and I explained them their divorce decree. And of course, I'm not a lawyer, so I wasn't giving any legal advice, but I did appoint them to my lawyer, who then did give legal advice. And after noting that they had 3 rights taken away, they went ahead and followed through with, getting that lawyer's approval of help and got their 3 rights back, which was an amazing feeling just to know I was right about something. Well, and it was an amazing feeling for them to get their rights back and just know what was theirs. If I had any other career choice, I truly feel like I'm well-rounded and I've done different careers, such as I once was a vet tech, also a groomer for dogs and cats. I did a vet tech for 8 years. I also groomed for about 3. I also have worked as a waitress. I've worked as a bartender. I've also worked in a construction business. I've thrown sod before. And I also went and received my certificate as a medical assistant, who I then worked at a doctor's office. All those jobs were, they're all jobs, But the one thing I really realized is I love helping people. And I think as a paralegal, I can truly help not just people in general, but the attorney. And I really thrive on people knowing their rights and what they deserve. The type of law I would love to get into once I graduate would most likely be criminal. A lot of people say they think I would be good with family law just because I've already gone through 2 divorces, so I sort of know a little bit about the whole background, but I don't really see myself doing that. If I didn't do criminal law, I'm sort of persuaded with administrative law, but I don't know if it's just because simply I'm in the class. My main goal, I think, would be to be a judge. I think that would be something truly amazing just because you really, truly impact people's lives daily. And, I'm technically a judge at home. I got 4 kids. They like to argue and bicker and fight. So I have to judge who gets what punishment at different times. Little side joke there. I think the hardest part of the program is I would say just getting started and diving into it all. Definitely organizing yourself, making sure you stay on a schedule. The hardest part for myself is just doing it and turning it in and waiting to be corrected, because I've noticed I really thrive on always having it right the first time, but I don't feel like I'm going to learn that way. I feel like I do learn better if I do it. I mess up, I get critiqued, I get told how to do it the right way, shown how to do it the right way, because then it's like a better process of really, I guess, getting like a memory of what and how to do it the correct way. Also, the typing test. I know sometimes the typing test can be hard, but I think it's more or less just trying to like find time to sit down and type, even though I type all day. Sometimes I wish there was a system to just detect my typing and how much I type and then sort of went off by that instead of actually doing like the typing test. But I know it definitely will help me in the long run. So that sort of trickles into what's the best part and what I feel thankful for from the program is definitely making sure that I stay structured, that I'm learning. So one of the other students told me when she went for internship that the first thing she had to do was take a typing test, a spelling test, and then also like draft up some type of paperwork or document. And that's one thing that once I heard it, I was like, okay, so these typing tests are going to help me. This is amazing. I also am very thankful for just like the friendships I've had and also grown. I am so thankful for Professor Gail, not just for being my teacher and my professor and like truly making sure that each of us as students get what she's trying to teach us, but also as a confidant, a mentor. She not only, has helped me through this program, saying, hey, this is the class you should take, this is what you should do next, but also being there for me in a time of need when I was at a job that I wasn't really happy at, and the way things were going, I just knew like this wasn't gonna last. This job is not for me. Since I was always constantly in the paralegal lab, she sort of suggested like, hey, there's an opening for a lab assistant. If you're not working or thinking of changing your job, maybe you should, put your resume in. And I wasn't too sure about it. I was like, I don't know, like I'm comfortable where I was, but at the same time, like I said, I just knew it was time for a change. So I'm grateful, so grateful for this job here at Del Mar. I love the atmosphere. I love all the employees here. Everybody's so helpful. As long as you call and talk to them or email the right person, you don't want to call like the food people for something for the library. I mean, just come on now, guys. It's common sense. But everyone's so awesome, so amazing. I have so many new friends. I know so many more people. I truly enjoy just the atmosphere in general. I love talking with everyone and just showing kindness and just helping people. Let's see. Any funny stories that I can think of while being with the pro? None that I can really think of as in funny. I mean, I feel like as just who I am, I'm pretty like humorous and have a good type of personality about me. So I always constantly have funny moments because I love to laugh. I don't want to be grumpy and upset and just down in the dumps kind of mood. Any advice for potential students? I would say anyone looking towards joining the program or getting into the program, I would definitely do it. I know sometimes when you think about something, it scares you because it's change. Also, you don't want to fail. I know failure sometimes is like the hardest thing because a lot of people think this is something new. I might just fail at it and not do a good job. And so you beat yourself up. And then you also think like finances, that it's just too expensive. I can't do it. But I always say if there's a will, there's a way. And one thing about Del Mar is they really do help you figure out a way. And so even just coming back to school, is definitely an option. And Del Mar makes it to where they can like make it an option for you in a sense. Like so many doors open to where you can get financial help. They even have something that can help you if you need daycare, if you need any type of like, even with food, like they have the food pantry here that can help you if you just, you're low on money and you need some food. So, and they even have something to where they'll help you with your resume. They'll help you find a job. I mean, Del Mar has so many great official products. I'm trying to think of a word to say to help you. New students in paralegal program, any advice for y'all? I would just say stick with it. It's tough. It's very hard. I think the hardest part is just getting organized, especially remembering to do like the typing tests, to do the study mates, just writing the documents in the correct way so then you can turn them in. I mean, and just staying on schedule is the hardest sometimes as well. I would definitely say come to class. I mean, even if it's not in person, make sure you're in class because it truly does help. And any current students in the program already, thank y'all for still being here and doing it. I'm so proud of y'all. I can't wait to see you succeed and graduate. I think that's one thing I am so happy about with this program is that we all uplift each other. And even if you're ahead of us or behind us, we're all going for the same goal, and it's to graduate as paralegals. So I truly cannot wait to see who graduates. I can't wait to go to the graduation and cheer for them. Speaking of graduation, when I expect to graduate, I'm going to say 2025, most likely. It's going to be a long process, I feel like, but it's just due to the fact of time. I mean, now if I can speed it up, if I can graduate within like a year, like let's say 2024, that would be amazing. But cutoff is 2025 for me. Because I need to at least have a cutoff, My main goal is to graduate within the decent amount of time. I mean, I do have 2 more semesters to go, so hopefully I can do it. I sort of tried to map it all out, and I'm thinking if I can do even summer classes, because sometimes that's very hard. I don't know why it's so hard. Summer classes for me it's just like going and getting teeth pulled. It's just something uncomfortable. You don't really want to do it, but it's something that has to be done, especially if you have a bad tooth. You know what I'm saying? I think the one thing I'll miss coming out of all this is probably just being at the school. I will say, I know once I get done with the program, or I'm pretty much halfway there to where I have like practicum left, which is like interning as a paralegal, I know that's going to be my fork in the road. And as much as I would love to stay at Del Mar, if anything, it would be to take over Professor Gill's job. Just kidding. But I mean, I would love to. I love Professor Gill. I think she's so amazing, so inspirational, just such an amazing woman, so strong, and just the amount of knowledge she has. I was even like doing an assignment the other day, and I was like, I wish like Professor Gill could just like give me just a little chunk of her brain to put in my brain, so then I could just be smooth sailing the rest of the semester. Which technically, if you think about it, as a professor, when they're teaching you, I mean, come on guys, that's pretty much what they're doing. You just have to figure out how to interpret your own way, I guess. Like, you just have to figure out how to take what they're teaching you and process it and apply it on a daily. I would definitely just miss the atmosphere, miss the school, miss the students. So I guess, I mean, that's the hard part, is just the crossroads of my next adventure. Who's to say that Professor Gill doesn't want to, I guess, pass the baton down, I guess, to me? I mean, I don't know if there's anyone else out there. So anyone listening, just FYI. Let's see. So fun fact, I'm adopted. I was adopted at the age of 13. I had sent in some paperwork to receive my court documents so then I could see like all the deets on my adoption. And I found out that my, 23rd, is it 20? Yeah. 23rd anniversary of being adopted will be coming up October. I think it said 5th. Where's this paper at? Yes, so my date of finalization of being adopted was October 5th, 2000. So it will be 23 years that I have been a Bass. And if you've heard any TikTok business about the Bass family, nope, not related. I don't even know if that's true. You guys might want to fact check that one. A little bit of fact check facts, something like that. Fact checker. So when I was 6, I was taken away from my mother and placed into foster care for 2 months. Then I was adopted by what it was I was taken and placed with my brother's grandmother and grandfather, who then officially adopted myself and my 3 younger brothers, October 5th of 2000. And also, another fun fact, I'm not from Texas. I was born and raised in Florida, Hillsborough County. Total siblings, I have an older brother who lives in, I believe, Key West. Then it's myself, my 3 younger brothers. And then my mother, once she had her parental rights taken away, officially, she moved to Texas thinking she could have more children and they would not be taken from her. But due to her illness, she is not capable of taking care of children. She had my sister, who's somewhere here in Texas. And then she had my littlest sister, who listens to the podcast. Love you, girl. Shout out to my sister, Golden. And so I have a sister that we have no clue about, which I always have mixed feelings about, because I don't want to ruin her life she has going on now. But of course, my selfishness wants to meet her and see what she looks like. I will say sometimes it is difficult being adopted, just because it's like a mystery box of your life in a sense. You sort of have like a whole of, like family members. So I know my mom, I know my aunts. Now, I just found my birth father 2 years ago. I was pregnant with my youngest, and I had finally got my ancestry results back and found him through another cousin on Ancestry, who then messaged him to let him know about me. And then he messaged me back on Facebook. And of course, when I opened up that message, I was like a blubbering well. Besides all the hormones running through my pregnant body, it was very interesting, to say the least, to finally have a name, a face, like a whole person. So that's pretty interesting. So not too sure where else to go with this session about myself. I will say it's difficult talking to yourself, about yourself, for yourself. I'm definitely going to have to cut this. So besides that, I wanted to just let y'all know that the program here at Del Mar is not just a 2-year program, but there's also a stop recording. So with the paralegal degree plan, not only can you have your, of course, it would be a Associates of Science you would graduate with in paralegal studies, which is technically a 2-year program. But if you have already graduated, you can come back and receive the Advanced Technical Certificate in Paralegal Studies, which technically takes, it's a total of 30 hours. So I would say a year, maybe. 2 semesters, it would seem like. It's a definitely amazing opportunity, something that would be great future-wise. And also the fact that everything's ABA approved makes it even better, which ABA approved means that it is approved by the American Bar Associates, which is like law school. It having an ABA approved certificate, or even just in second, I hate when this, having an ABA approved degree helps you to also continue if you decide to go to law school, which in Professor Gale's interview you will hear some about. So can't really think of any more to say about myself. If you have any questions, feel free to message them or leave them in the comments. Thank you so much for listening. My name once again is Cassidy Bass, and thank you for listening to Paralegal or Bust. If you like this episode, hit the follow button. Also connect with me on Instagram and TikTok as Queen of Pantsuits. Until next time.